Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Box, which is a Springbok dedicated channel brought to you by Forever Sports. We've listened to a lot of people speaking about the content that we create, stuff like that, and this is kind of what it is that people really enjoy. And one of the main things people said that obviously Springboks being the biggest team in the world, Springbok obsessed, and so we decided to create a dedicated channel, which means that all content that appears on this channel will be completely Springbok related. We're talking about press conferences, training footage, exclusive Springbok content, team reactions, team analysis, for example, potentially tactics analysis, and the likes. So if you are a Springbok fan, you are in the right place. So before we go any further, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Today we're going to be talking about 5 players who I think should be involved in the match against Scotland this weekend. It is the start of the tour for the Springboks, and a 3-match tour featuring Scotland, England and Wales. Scotland probably being the sort of second most difficult game. England in theory probably the biggest test for the Boks, and then Wales a potential opportunity to rotate actually, given how poor they've been this season, very much going through a transitional period. So I'm not expecting too much from them, and I think it's probably a game, if there was one of the 3 during the series, to potentially rotate. So today we're talking about, as I said, 5 players who I think should be involved on Sunday. Now I'm going to start off with Jaden Hendrickson. For me, he is the future starting scrum half for the Boks. You know, Faf de Klerk not involved in the tour is quite an interesting selection. There is talk about the fact that he's just had a newborn child. Is that still playing into it? But he's not injured. He is available and just not been included as far as we understand. And with Kobus Ryan also sort of getting quite sort of old in terms of that, that sort of 34, 35, 36 sort of period. It's about the next generation of scrum halves. Now, you've got Grant Williams in there, who I think is the perfect player off the bench. Morné van den Berg is being introduced, and I think he'll play a lot of Bok games in the next few years. But for me, Jaden Hendrickson has to now become the starting scrum half. He's got everything. He's got a great kicking game. He's got great awareness. He reads the game really well. Good passer, good basics. He can kick for goal as well, which is very important because the next person I'm going to be talking about is Mandela. A little over a year ago, he had a man of the match display in the Boks World Cup opener against Scotland. He was sensational. That no-look, cross-kick assist is probably one of the most iconic World Cup moments from a sheer audacity, skill point, type of move. And he was really good. And I had the privilege of watching in Mandela during Evidence record-breaking text. And Mandela, the way he controls the team, the way he pulls the strings is phenomenal. Whether he starts on Sunday, I'd be surprised, but I'd love to see him involved. I think he's the perfect player, especially, if you're going to go with Andre Pollard in tough conditions, start off, build a bit of innings, and then you want to put somebody on against a bit of a tired Scotland side, or when the game opens up a little bit, for me, Mandela is your go-to guy. Number 3 is Thomas Otoye. Tight head, loose head, where are we at with him? Given the fact that there is no Francois Herber, we currently have 3 sort of tight head options, with Thomas Otoye sort of obviously, covering both loose head and tight head. Wilco Louw has been drafted into the team, but I really like to see Thomas Otoye get some minutes this weekend, potentially even starting, I think, at tight head, and can then potentially shift over to loose head, for example, depending how things are going. You can keep your loose head a bit fresher for minutes longer. So I think he's going to become an important player for the Boks the next few years. Very good age profile-wise. He's about 29, so been playing really good rugby since going over to the Premiership, and I think important for him to get minutes this weekend. Number 4 for me, a debut potentially for Cameron Hanekom. Now, I'd be surprised if we do see him involved this weekend. He'd probably sort of skip ahead of the queue of the likes of an Ulrich Louw and or Malcolm Starden, and that seems unlikely. But I do think we should look at it. I don't think necessarily starting. I think you start with Jasper Wiese, but I think you can go with the 6-2 split, have Cameron Hanekom on the bench with a Kwagga Smith, for example, and an Achia Snyman, and you've then got options. You can then look to bring on Cameron Hanekom at 8, for example. Kwagga can even come on at 8 initially, then move to the side. So you've got options with the 6-2 split in terms of how you can then sort of introduce him to Test rugby. But I do think that he is someone that is very special. He screams Springbok legend, in the making, if he can get things right with how quickly he's risen up in the Bulls. And I think he just has everything. He has all the tools. So we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I think he's an incredibly exciting talent. And we need to try and see what that exciting talent can do. The final one that obviously has to be involved this weekend, and I'm really, really excited about, is Archie Snyman, who is playing tremendous rugby for Leinster. I think that playing at Leinster is going to help him a lot. I think the way that they are adapting to him, with this offload game, and the way that sort of they're making him such a big part of their creation, I think is actually going to translate into the way the Boks play. I think Tony Brown is going to look to use his incredible offload game, his awareness, as well as physicality, to become a bit of a link-up between potentially the backline and the forwards. We've seen players like over the years, like a Warren Whiteley, for example. He can come down and be that sort of link up between the two. He's a player that just brings everybody around him into play, which is a weird thing to say about a lot, and especially because of somebody of his size. But I think if he can stay fit, I think we're going to see the next 4 years being the 4 years of Archie Snyman. Now, obviously, injuries will probably rear up. He is a bit of an injury-prone player. But when he's fit, he's special, isn't he? And I think we're going to see a very interesting version of Archie Snyman during these Autumn Nations series. So those are my 5 players that I'm really looking forward to seeing involved, and I hope are involved in some capacity. Obviously, some of them will inevitably be involved. Other ones maybe not as certain. What do you think? What changes would you make? What players are you looking forward to seeing? Let me know down in the comments below. Let me know which players do you think will start on Sunday, which players maybe might not get game time over the course of the Autumn Nation series. I want to know what you think down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. Welcome to Forever Boks, and we'll see you soon.